Hi everybody. Now I know, oops, that's going to bug me, isn't it? Hopefully some new people today, or people that I haven't met before, because I'm on the crafts channel. Today, oh hello Elaine. Today I'm going to be making a Christmas gnome, or you might know them as gonks. I don't like gonks, I like Christmas gnomes. So let me show you. I've got two here. So I've got this one and this one. Okay, so let's get on. Let's move the camera. Oh, hi Karen, Lynn, Wendy. Okay, so to start off with, one polystyrene ball and a craft knife. Okay, what I'm going to do is just chop a slice off of the polystyrene ball, just so that this is going to sit flat on a work surface. Well, actually, we're going to glue it onto a wood slice, and we want it to be, oops, we want it to be flat. So, make a load of mess. You can see it's not perfect. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see? Oh yeah, you can see it's flat there. So that's going to go on my wood slice, which is, oh, where's my wood slice gone? Ah, I've lost my wood slice. Keris! I've lost my wood slice.
Are you still videoing?
Yes. Piece of wood like this. Go and have a look in my office. I think I might have left it out on the side. Just check it's not under there. I thought I'd brought it down with me. Go and grab it for me. It's a slice of wood. I don't know, somewhere in my office. Thank you. Oh no, I've got it. I've got it. Thank you, goodbye. Okay, so slice of wood. Obviously it's got a little hole there because you can use it for little tags, but we're not going to do that. I've got my, oops, hopefully my glue gun's on. I'm going to put glue. Okay, maybe more glue wasn't on. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for a minute whilst my glue heats up. Okay, so I had a square of felt, and I have cut, oops-a-daisy, a triangle. And what I want to make sure is when it's on my little gonk, that it covers a lot of the back. Okay, so I want it to make sure that when I stitch it up, it's going to go quite low at the back of it. So right down here, can you see there? So it's going to go right down low, because the fur is only so wide, and we want to cover that up at the back. So let's glue this on. It should be just about ready. Okay. Okay, so I've glued it onto my wood slice, and I'm now going to glue my fur on. Now this, I've made it about, let's see, wide it is 7 centimetres, and length I've cut it so it's 8 centimetres. But you'll actually trim this up because it's going to be way too long. So all I'm going to do is on the top edge, now make sure that your fur is going downwards like a beard would. And then I'm just going to, on the top edge, put a row of, whoops, glue. And I'm going to put it quite high up because it's going to be his hair as well, you see. So just glue that bit down. Make sure it's nice and secure. Like so. Now he's all floppy at the moment, so he's still all loose, and I'm not going to do anything more to him until I've done my hat. Okay, so I've got some DMC threads, so cross stitch thread, and I want it to be able to be seen really. I don't want it to be invisible, so I'm going to start at the bottom, and I don't know what stitch it is. I'm just going to go under and over, under and over, and under and over, all the way up. Oops. So all the way up that really long side. Now you can keep it with the stitching on the outside if you wish, or what I'm going to do when I get to the top is turn it inside out, and then we need just a little bit of wadding. If you haven't got any, you can use cotton wool or scrunched up tissues, tissue paper, anything that would it's just to hold the hat in shape. And you can always, it doesn't have to be pointing up like this guy. It can be, you know, over to the side or downwards if you want to. So you can position it wherever you want. And if you want to make him into a Santa gnome, you can always put a little pom-pom on the top. We've got a little pink pom-pom for his nose, but you can always put a white pom-pom on the end of his little hat and make him into a Santa one. I know at the shop we've got obviously this fake fur, which is great for his beard, but we also have, and it's like a bit like feather boa, but it's smaller. So it's probably about 1 inch in diameter, and it's feathers, and that would be really good for his beard if you want him to have a white beard. And you can make a little pom-pom from that as well to put on his hat. So you could definitely make a little Santa one. And if you wanted to, you could trim the beard shorter, and you could put a couple of little black pom-poms to look like feet. So there's loads of ways you can play with this. Oh, actually, the other thing that I did think of was we've got loads of different jingle bells in, and we've got them in all sorts of different colours and sizes. And you could put a little bell on the end of his hat as well. So that would be quite lovely. And we do have lots and lots of gorgeous Christmas charms. So you could just stitch a little Christmas charm to the end of his hat. So a little snowflake. Or let's see, what else is there? Little Christmas presents, or there's bows and things like that. So they can all be stitched on. They don't have to be put onto head pins and things like that. So just got to the top. Let's tie a knot. I'm going to turn this inside out. So there we go. I'm going to save my thread because I've got a little patch like the one here to sew on. So let's turn it inside out. So you don't need to be a massive sewer to do this, because I'm not. There's no way I'm brilliant at sewing. As my home economics teacher would attest to, having blown up half the sewing machines in school. I think I was probably banned from, there we go. Okay, so I've stuck it the other way around, inside out. And now I'm just going to put another little knot in the end of this thread, and I'm going to stitch on so it's completely obvious. My stitches will be like big leggy spider leg stitches for this little patch. And all I did was I had, now I'm going to do my seam at the front because I quite like it like that. So I'm going to put my patch quite central. This is actually a pair of pyjamas that the elastic went on the waist because they'd been washed so much. So yeah, I thought I'm not going to waste that, and it looked quite good for my patch. So any little scrap of fabric will do. If you've got an old scarf that you've dropped food on it and you know can't wear it anymore, something like that would be fine. Old cushion covers, when you change all your designs of your cushion covers, even a bit of old toweling, you know, an old towel or an old flannel, anything will do. So, And if you haven't got a glue gun, you can use, PVA. So you don't have to have a glue gun for this. It's not essential. You could glue this down with PVA. It would just take a little bit longer for it to set, that's all. And if you were going to be gluing his beard on, you could actually use some sequin pins to just pin the beard on, so it holds it whilst the glue's setting. So there's always ways around this if you haven't got a glue gun, but we do stock them if you need one. I have to say it's the most useful tool in my stash. I use it for everything, but then I do also do a lot of crafting, obviously, but I use it when I do my wreaths. I do seasonal wreaths, so you know, we have spring and summer and autumn and winter and what have you. So the autumn one's up at the minute, but it's fantastic for doing your wreaths. And then obviously there's a heck of a lot of crafts that, let me just get this needle through so I can finish this. Oh dear, my needle's playing up today. Get through. Sorry guys. Okay, last couple of stitches. Oops, daisy. I'm just going to tie a knot on the back. And then we're done on the hats. Now then, as I said before, you need a little bit of stuffing. So for mine, I've got a bit of this wadding, which is great stuff. And I think that it's like fire friendly or something like that. Not that it makes a good fire or something, but I think it's a lot safer sometimes. But hey, if it's going to be near something that's flammable, or it's going to be a light, then you need to be extremely careful, don't you? So you want a bit, try and get a bit to the very end. I'm using my long tweezers to stuff it in there. And don't worry about putting too much on. If you, get this on your gnome and it's too much, you can always take some out. Right, I've got my patch on the back. What am I doing? Right, okay. Okay. So I'm just going to, pull him down. So I want this covered at the back. So you can see I've got a little bit of white still there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off some of my beard. Now, at the moment, he's got square shape. Now, get your scissors right underneath so it's on the fabric. Don't cut from the other side because otherwise you trim off all the hair. So what you want to do is just shape it just a little bit. I'm going to do it so it's come to a point. There we go. Try and keep it as close to that fabric as possible. Oops, daisy. And then hopefully these little side bits we can use around the side of this. Okay, so you can see it's still, you know, fabulously. His beard's fabulous. Okay, so you can see there. And if you wanted to, you could actually, you know, you could do a little ponytail thing on it if you wanted to. But these little bits I'm going to use at the side here. Now, they might not look right in the direction the hair's going. Ouch, that hurts. Just be really, really careful when you're doing this, guys. Okay, so I'm going to stick that in there so nobody can see. Okay. And just a bit of safety advice on this. If you burn yourself, if you get hot glue onto yourself, it will blister. So I've just done it on my thumb, you can see there. Do not think, oh, I've got to pull that hot glue off. Because if I pull that off now, it's going to pull all my skin off. So if you do get it on you, and I can feel it burning, it's really hurting. But if I pulled that off, it would pull the skin off the top. So just run it under cold water for as long as possible, and the glue will come off when it's ready. Don't try and pick it off, because otherwise you're going to really make your skin sore. So I'm just filling this gap at the side, and I'm going to be more careful this time, and I'm looking at the way the direction of the hair's going, and it's going to go there. Where's my tweezers? That's what I should be using. So I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm just going to trim this off. So, close to the fabric so we don't take all the hair with it. That's it. And then what you can do then is you can move the hair around a bit. Okay, so we've got that looking good, and then we're going to put the hat on. So I'm going to put a line of glue just on the inside of this. Let me just get another glue stick, otherwise it's not going to come out. Okay. So all around that inside bit. And if you've got a nice pair of tweezers, use those. Okay. Let's get that lined up at the back. Whoops, the daisy. And he keeps falling off because I'm not grabbing hold of it yet. That's it. Down. If you get dried glue on the fabric, don't worry, you can pull it off once it's dried. If you get a stubborn bit, there's a little bit there, and I've got a little tiny bit of white showing, so I'm just going to poke a bit of hair in there. I want this a bit further forward. So let's put some glue there. So let's pull him forward. You should be able to slide it over that ball, that's fine. Oh, God. And I've got a little pink. So I'm going to hold it in my tweezers because I don't want to get glue on me. Little pink bauble, put a bit of glue on. Oops, a daisy. There we go. Just make sure it's, positioned well. And there's his nose. So now you can trim his beard. So let's see. That's about it. So there he is. I wonder what you think of that one, guys. Is there any questions at all? He's quite straightforward, isn't he? Let's turn my glue gun off. So, oops. That's me gonk finished. But you could, as I say, you could make it into a Santa. It's got a bit of glue there. So any of these little bits of dry glue, you can get your tweezers and just get them off. And if it's really stubborn, I found a little trick that if you just get the tip end of your glue gun, don't squeeze any glue out, and if you've got a bit of glue that won't come off, just use the tip where it's hot and just smooth it away, and it'll take it off. So there's my big one I've just done today. There's my little green one. His patch is on the back because I stupidly did it at the largest bit. When you do your hat, you can see that the longest part is on the back bit there. So I I did my patch on the wrong side. I should have done it on the other side. So on this one, the longest bit is furthest away from the seam, so that's why this one's slightly different. Oh, and his little hat's peeking off as well. Needs gluing down again. There we go. And then we've got a teal one as well. He's got an even bigger hat. Okay, guys, so I think we're all done. Okay, so what's today? Tuesday. So tomorrow, Donna's going to be doing some tips and tricks with the contents of the bead subscription. Yes, that glue gun did burn me. I always do it every single time. So yes, it is stinging and I'm dying to get off so I can put it in cold water. I knew I'd burn myself, sorry. Yeah, that's my, you can't see it, but it's burning. Anyway, so tomorrow is Donna and she will be doing tips and tricks for the bead box subscription contents. I'm not sure what I'm doing next. I've been working upstairs in the office today and making list of new things that we can try for Facebook Lives and stuff. So I need to speak to Caroline and Donna. So some for crafts and some for beading. So we shall see. So Donna's tomorrow, and also Donna's on 9 o'clock tomorrow morning on Create and Craft as well. So catch up with her on there. Some new little bits and bobs she's taking on and some stock updates of other stuff. So lovely to see you all and see you again soon. Bye.